Good morning, everybody. It is July 8th, and I've got 3 days till the tournament. Today's currently Wednesday. First day of the tournament is Saturday. And I still have some models to paint. I've been painting off screen. I did finish up the Terminators I was working on last time. Kind of. They're nearly there. Just gotta do some base work. As well as doing a lot on these Hellblasters. Also have to base them. Now what I'm really proud of is this librarian. Like some grunge, some dirt on the cloak. And you can't see it from here, and holding it up doesn't help. But I got some glow effects on the eyes and on the hand because I went to the Warhammer store and talked to the guy there. Because we are gradually knocking out that challenge, that store founding challenge. But today, I was thinking we do some bikes. These are some of the first models I ever got, because they came in the starter set for 9th edition, where you got some Marines and some Necrons. So, unfortunately, no, that brush is fine. The brush was a little stiff, this one, but that's okay. This one's like $3. This one was like 11. You don't need $11 brushes. In fact, I got a whole box. Not a box, but like a pack. Of like 7 different brushes. Like these ones. This one I use for like washes. I've been using this one for basing. And this one for dry brushing. And these came in a set that were like $4. But you take care of your brushes, they'll take care of you. So, this is the look we're going for on the blue. I did do a little bit of a different blue right there. I might just go back and cover that up. Or maybe not. It kind of matches a tank that I have. But let's get into it. Gonna need to change out this wet palette probably after the stream today. So, but I think it should last us throughout this stream. So, how's everyone doing? I see we got someone here. I think I might know who it is. So thanks for being here. Lots of I haven't been staying up too late, but man, I have been at this desk so much recently. Yeah, dog. I think I gotta do more marketing or something. Or just side stuff. I put it on my Instagram story last time, but I don't think anything ever came of it. Let's go over here. But that's fine. I also might just need to do more stuff. But it's been nice just even painting without the stream, because I feel like I'm making consistent progress, which is nice. It's nice to feel like you're doing something, and at the end, you know, I have a cohesive army that all looks like they belong on the same field. For my creative stuff, yes. It's called Animamnos Art. But that specifically is like my 3D art stuff. Like the modeling and the animation. Which I did do some modeling today. And by today I mean yesterday. Because work was slow. I had my laptop. That's cool. You know, you just extrude a cube a few different directions, and then something just reveals itself. Which is fun. Now the trick is to not just work on it for the little bit of time that I did and then leave it be, but to go back and work on it multiple times. That's the downside about motivation. Is it doesn't stick around. But that's why you need to have discipline, so that when the motivation goes away, you know, you've built your habits, or you value, I guess, your mission more than comfort. I should make a rock. I can make so many rocks. You could make so many different kinds of rocks in Houdini, but if I wanted to make like a special hero rock, maybe a rock that tells a story, then I'll do and make that in Maya or ZBrush. I find it really funny how I do this dry brushing thing. And then I'll like just go through and cover it up in blue anyway. Which is fine. Because at the very least the dry brushing helps me see the detail and know what things should look like. All rocks tell stories. You just need to know how to. That's deep. That's some deep stuff right there. Let's see. I don't remember if you were here for the last stream, but I joked about just like a painting ASMR. Yeah. Because the mic's pretty good. I think I've gotten the level right as far as what it picks up and how loud I am. See, I've been painting so much I haven't made the time to do anything for the UI of the, or the overlay, I guess, for the stream, because it wouldn't be a UI because you're not using it. But I want, like, oh, there we go. I do want this guy to show up for, like, alerts. I'm hoping it's legally distinct enough to not get GW coming after me, but they got their hands full of other things, I'm sure. Have to call it duck soldier. Probably can't use the term guardsman. Might be a little too on the nose. Because if you didn't know, GW has actually trademarked the term for the word Space Marine. So you can't use Space Marine for anything else because it's theirs and they own the word. So anyway, I think that's all the dry brushing I'm going to do. Mainly because I need to get them done. On the big whack. Or maybe I just make it really big. Every time it shows up, I can make it huge. Whack. Anyway. It's fun. I can add some things. Yeah, been so much painting. But, you know, what I don't want to have happen is to go to the tournament. And then the tournament, and then I just stop painting. Because I have so much gray. Like the amount of orcs that I have. And my Tyranids that I need to downsize. Do I have anything made? Nah, they're all on the desk. My other desk. The desk that I was painting on. Before I started painting that, and before I started streaming here. Because ever since the first stream, I've just been here. All my stuff. Great pile of shame. But this is okay. Because we have the means to get through it. So, now the only downside about the bikes is they don't fit in this. And so I gotta be careful so as to not just drop them in the paint. It would be very bad. Boom. So yeah, let's just roll right into it. I think I'm going to use this one because we got a lot of flat area, we got a lot of surface area to cover. Maybe I'll use this one. And in my last streams, I've been very deliberate and careful about where I put the paint, because I don't want to cover stuff up that I'm going to make a different color, but I would cover that up anyway with the different color. So I think if we want to get this done, speed is key. So we're going to get some water. Not too much. These flat brushes like to pick up water really well just because there's a line of fibers and it just, you got that capillary action. But with very little disregard, or I guess with great disregard for what other colors are going to go on it, we are just going to go a little ham on the blue, because there are areas that I know I want to be blue, and they need to be blue, and they need to not have any gray showing through bars. So getting it on there. If we go over the leg, we just kind of go a little fast and loose. We can save the detail work later, because I at least want it to be all blue. I don't want to get blue on the head, because this guy, he's not he doesn't have a helmet. His helmet's like right there. Now the downside is that it is so dry where I am. It was an absolute nightmare trying to work with paint before I had this wet palette, because I would use like magazine paper because it had like a coating and wouldn't absorb. It's kind of why people use paper plates, I imagine, because the paper plates have a coating on them. To keep them from, I imagine, absorbing things like different sauces, so then your plate doesn't get all soggy, which does not sound good. Speaking of paper plates, though, happy 4th of July, 4 days later. Any fun stuff? Any fun stuff happen? We had a mountain catch on fire. Again. I could actually see the charred hillside from a window at work yesterday. Because that's what happens. They're like, it's dry. We're in a drought. No fireworks. But then you get some stupid kids that are like, oh, but I'm special. It'll never happen to me. And then they set something on fire. And then they're like, but I thought I was the chosen one. Shakes my darn head. Nice. Good burgers. Yeah, we had some burgers too. With like some Colby Jack cheese baked onto them. They're pretty good. Got some different kinds of pickles. Yeah. Now, of course, the whole narrative that the whole chosen one narrative is, of course, something that I just made up. Because maybe that's not what they were thinking. But I don't know. I've seen a lot of situations where, I don't know, people think they're invincible or something. And they do something that proves that they're not. I'm out of blue. Need more blue. You can see just how much blue we're migrating down the wet palette, which probably could be replaced. As I mentioned, they say you should change it like every 48 hours. I don't do that. I should. Probably make my paints easier to work with. Let's see if we can get some more. Because if I'm painting out of frame, what's the point? See, the last time I used these bikes in a game, I don't think they ever rolled under a 4 for for their advances. I'm just seeing the blue. But yeah, these guys, they were driving around in my back line. And then they went up to support some assault intercessors. And then Gaz showed up. Gazgul. And absolutely crumped him. Because the strike on that claw is damage 4. And guess how many wounds these guys have? 4. So yeah, they died. But it's okay. Because at the end of the day, it was a tie game. 67-67. And boy, did we want to tell everyone else in the game store. I think one of the guys there was like a teacher or a dad, because we're like, hey, look at this, tie game 6-7. He's like, nope, not looking. Tie game 6-7. I miss the person I was before I knew what that was. Because I think the very first time I ever saw anything about 6-7 was in a video at an In-N-Out, where the guy was calling the order number, and like this group of college kids or whatever just absolutely lost their minds. He's like, yeah, order number 6-7, and he did the hand motion, and I didn't even know that the hand motion was part of it. And everyone's like, wow! I think shortly after that, In-N-Out temporarily took 6-7 out of their order number rotation, or however that works. Because, I don't know, it's like the Minecraft movie is getting a sequel, and I swear if they put 6-7 in there somewhere, I might just have to call it. Just, for humanity as a whole. Like, it's over. We've fallen too far from grace. Oh, I got a little flake on there. You're not paint. Me too, Loki. I used to think that it was so stupid, but now it's just part of life, unfortunately. Yep. Wonder if it'll die out. Because there are some people that are like, it's 2026, how are we still talking about this? I'm like, didn't it like come out this year? Talking about it like it's a movie. 6-7 rated R starts Friday. Two numbers dominate the minds of children. Math will never be the same. Starts Friday. In live theater. Yeah, didn't that happen? It's like a flashbang. It's like when I would be at work and we'd finish up a room, finish up a job, and it'd be like, "Good job, every pony." And my friend's like, "Oh, what? Oh, flashbang, mental flashbang." I see. He's got a little screen on his bike there. Should go through and do that. But maybe that's extra detail work. Because unfortunately, I'm at the point where it's like, what can I get away with now? Because, like, that's fine. We do, like, the chest piece, and the pauldrons, and the bolt pistol, and the face. Maybe some dirt on the wheels, maybe. Just readjusting. Next one. See, here's the thing, is that we gotta find a way to keep it fresh when it comes to painting. Mix it up. Take a break from the monotony. But that's definitely something that I would do. A rock stuck in the treads. Maybe we could do that. I gotta figure out how I would. You get a rock from outside. I've done that. Or maybe do some when I'm putting on like the Astro Granite, maybe cut out a little divot right there so that he's like driving along. Any big things coming up? Anything anyone here is looking forward to? For me, I got Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is dropping tomorrow. And it looks pretty good. Saw some gameplay of it. Combat's a little different. It's not quite like how it is in Origins, but it is a little bit more action based. It looks a little easy though. Like you just break the defense of the person you're fighting and then you can go right for a takedown. But I think it looks good. I probably won't be able to pick it up immediately though. Got some dancing emojis in the chat. I'd ask, but I already know. That's very exciting. Rekindling the fire of a previous passion. I support this. And also been playing lots of Animal Crossing. Yeah, buddy. Got that blue. Cover up that blue. Quack. I see I tried to do some edge highlighting. Not yet. Oh, this one, his arm is out of alignment with his hand on the bike. Helmet's a little loose because it's this is one of those push fit models. I am not a fan of push fit. I understand its purpose. Hey! Logos, welcome back to the stream. Glad you could stop by. We're just working on some bikes today. I want that to be an alert. Unfortunately, the latest subscriber subscribed after the stream, so we didn't get a pop-up for that, but definitely appreciate that all the same. I think we're at like 32 subs, which is awesome. How to expand the reach. I mean, it's honestly like more work, more stuff, and advertise. It's like a whole speech by Arnold Schwarzenegger about, you know, you have to have a goal. You have to set the goals. And you have to work and work and work, and then tell people about your work. You know, he's got a point. So, I'm not going to entertain the fact. Not the fact, the idea that the tournament's in 3 days. But you know, we're going to get the base blue. We're going to get the base blue done on all these. We're going to do the gold for the pauldrons. See, now usually I would try and paint around this little ornament piece. Consistency is key. Yes, I have heard that as well. But this, see, that's why I'm glad about this being, because there was a week gap. It was like 2 weeks from the first to the second stream. Gotta find that consistency. And that's why you have to do it for you, right? You have to do it because it's fun and you enjoy it. Because if you, oh my goodness, another one. Blue, berry blue. Since we got more people, a recent model that I was working on is this librarian guy. He's got some magic powers, and he's got, and I dirtied up his cloak, his cape looking thing. He needs a base. Needs to be based, but I'm fairly happy with this guy, and I just wish you could see it better. But the focus of this camera is like 3 feet out, so even like this desk right here is not optimal. But yeah, bike. We out here driving this time up. With this many people here, bro, this the watch hours. My hand is blue. Yes, I got some on my thumb, and then some on my wrist, right there. But with this blue, we're just gonna go all over it. We'll worry about the details later. Still exercising fundamentals like trying not to re-go over what I just went over until it's dry. 2 thin coats, they say. I was thinking about throwing up a game at the end of the stream, just to try that out, see how that looks. I got a setup for it. Just hope that it works. But what? I mean, it's still going to be the 2 hours of painting. Because, well, you got to put in the time. Put in the time, Spider-Man. Painting this with my bare hands. Yep, throw up a game. Yeah, just like I'd boot something up and play it. Play some Total War, maybe. I've been on a big Total War kick. And actually, 2 guys that I play Warhammer with also have Total War Warhammer 3. So we were actually doing the 3-player Kislev cooperative campaign. No, it wasn't last night. It's Monday night. I would probably just pull up my Grand Cafe campaign that I've got going on right now, because it's like the first full campaign that I've been playing aside from the prologue. And the prologue is a campaign, kinda. It's like campaign light. Luckily, I've made a few. That's all right. I think the streams get saved as a VOD. That if you're interested, you can just pop over and watch the end one, or maybe I'll restart the stream and make it its own thing. Because that's something I haven't given myself enough time to do, is do some more work on the YouTube side of booting up the stream, because the way the OBS is set up, it's already linked to YouTube, so I just start streaming on here. And it just goes. But I need to give myself time for like actual setup, I guess, you know, like thumbnails. Because I'll get back home and then 10:30's been a good time. But time doesn't stop, so I'll just get home and then it'll be close to 10:30, and then I gotta come down, set everything up. But luckily we haven't run into any hiccups like the first time where I had trouble connecting. All right. I'll go over in blue again later, I think. But it's time to break out the Retributor Armor. This lovely gold. It's a very, very nice. Give it a nice shake. If time allows, I might actually go into the Warhammer store and work on some stuff there. Because specifically for them, it's their work in progress Wednesdays. And I've gone in a few times. Not for the work in progress, but for like ask questions, buy some paint. You know, when the store opened, I spent pretty much a cool $300 there. Rip money indeed. But that's all right. I have enough to last me quite a while. I just get I never thought I'd... What am I trying to say? Yeah. I should have been saving these. Like let them dry out and then like put them under glass. because I've just been folding them up and throwing them away. But saving the wet palette sheets, that's a fun idea. Not gonna lie. See, I've gotten less concerned because I kind of splotched a little bit with the gold. But you take a little bit of water on your brush and mix it up. Introduce some more water into it. Then use your brush like a vacuum. Sop it all up. I actually do think that it would be, yeah. Call it like the carnage of art or something. Spray paint stream? Maybe. I haven't done that in a hot minute. Could be fun. That would be one I definitely want to get some sort of head cam. Connect it with my laptop, get set up in the garage. In for the chest piece. Gotta lock in. What is this song? Let's see. I couldn't tell you. This is like it's a 12-hour playlist. But sounds like it's ending. I'll put the I'll put it in the chat, the video along with the timestamp. Just a bit. Yeah, I checked the description because usually, well, not usually, they sometimes have the song names and timestamps in there. Ta-da! All right, let's see if we can find this song. Take that. I might hear myself a little bit. All right. There's the video, or the playlist, I guess. And it was like around the 2-hour 2 hour, 3 minute mark. I think. Oh, dang, did I nail that actually? I might have. Yeah, I just kind of guessed because it was like around 2:05 and some change that it was ending. I was like, yeah, 2:03. It actually is 2:03. Oh, I'm a wizard. I'm a music wizard. Speaking of music wizards, you know how long I've wanted to like get FL Studio, and then I end up spending my money on other things, and then just because it would be cool. Because I don't know if I'd call myself like a huge EDM head. But I remember about 2 years ago I was really into Porter Robinson's songs. And even before that, before I even knew who he was, his song Unfold was pretty good. Lunchtime is over. Well, guess that's how it is. Back to the grind. But thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. And the interaction, the engagement in the chat. Good stuff. Let's see, we're about an hour in. And then there were 2. Because a little secret, I have it pulled up on my phone. Because of course I'm gonna watch my own stream. What are you, nuts? What are we talking about? Lem's gonna lurk again. Timestamps. What happens if I click these? Can I click these? Can I click these? Messing around with stuff in the OBS. See what it does. Now, I understand that lo-fi just means like low fidelity, sound. So you've got like, maybe it sounds like it's coming through a gramophone or any kind of phone speaker, and that's kind of the attributes of lo-fi. So this, I wouldn't call this lo-fi, but it kind of matches the vibe that I think lo-fi goes for. because you've just like, I don't know. Lo-fi's kind of come to mean that kick snare kind of combo. That one. You know? All right. Pauldron's done on that guy. Alright, this is the one that doesn't have as much blue on it yet. But that's not going to stop us from going in with the gold right now. And then I think what we'll do is we'll throw Astro Granite on everything. And then for the stuff that already has Astro Granite on there, we'll hit it with this this Tomb King Tan. Because such is the power of Nagash. Oh yeah, and we'll have to go back over the pauldrons on where I might have splotched the paint. That's fine. It's all part of the process. And you know you gotta fall in love with the process. Because I heard a while back that if you don't like the way a mini turned out, you're just not done with it. And that's the magic of too thin coats. Is that because the coats of paint are so thin, if you did just do two, you can probably put some more on if you want to change it up. Edge highlights, glazing. I actually picked up a really nice medium to help out with glazing. This Lamian medium. So how this stuff works is this is essentially like the base for all of their shades. So it gets paints to flow. They're like flow extenders. That's how they were described to me. And so that's part of what I used to get the blending on this cape. Was I started off with the Agrax Earthshade, and then actually not that one, the Seraphim Sepia for the higher ups, and then I would combine the two with some Lamian medium just to help them blend, and also to kind of thin them out a little more. And I'm happy with it right now. Like, it's not as smooth as I'd like it to be, or what would be ideal. But, you know, these projects, some of them take weeks. the Aquillas, which aren't actually the Imperial Aquillas, as I've mentioned before, are done. The Retributor Gold is done. So put the bikes off to the side. Now this next part, we actually won't need the wet palette. So these guys, the Hell Blasters, they've got their plasma incinerators. This is part of the reason I went to the Warhammer store yesterday, was to learn how to get a better glow effect. Which is also where I picked up this Lamian medium. Use that with some Corax white, get a nice thin coat of white over everything. And then afterwards you go in with this Pilar Glacier, which is a little light. I wish I'd gone for like the Frost Heart contrast. But it gives it a nice icy blue. It's still very white, but it's frosty. But then I go in with the Lamian medium with some Calidor Sky to get a nice darker blue. And this thins it out. I do have a contrast medium, which is the medium they use for their contrast paints. The thing about contrast paints, though, is the actual fluid, because of how it's made up. Like, molecularly, one, it activates itself. So if you put contrast over contrast, it'll reactivate that. Part of contrast paints create a film over the model that then, as that film dries, it tightens and it kind of pulls the pigments down into the creases of the model, which is why people like using contrast paints, because they are able to get darker hues in the crevices and the shadows, and it's lighter on the surface where that film is thinner. So you don't want to put a contrast over a contrast. You also don't want to mix contrast with, you do not want to thin your contrast paints with water, because of what the contrast medium is. The water will actually break it down and the pigments will start to clump together and form flakes, and then your color's ruined. Later on, my plan is to take some corn red and mix it with the Lamian medium to make like a red shade to put on the wing membranes of Angron here, because otherwise I'd have to go out and buy a shade called Berserker Bloodshade, which, if I don't have to buy, that would be preferable. So we got 45 minutes left of the paint stream. So what we're gonna do is, we've got these 5. And the librarian. We also got this librarian. Actually, I have 2 of these guys I gotta do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this Astro Granite. Nice technical paint. Hard to call it a paint. I'd hesitate to call it a paint because it's got that, it's a texture paint. It creates a texture, ground texture. I've been told I should check my text. Oh, cool. Nice, might get some work. Some VFX work. Actually, I should probably respond to that text. Hang on. All right. Now they say that you should apply these with like a more metallic knife, like hobby knife, putty knife type thing. But I find that kind of scrapes it rather than spreads it, or it likes to stick to the putty or to the knife, I guess. So we take a little bit. Just spread it. And for me, it's not the end of the world if I get it on the model on the feet, because Emperor forbid they're actually standing in some dirt, you know? Got something on the helmet there I'll have to go back and clean up. Probably gonna exercise more caution with this one, just because I don't want to get it on the cloak. So going with a smaller brush. See, it's at this point. It's at times like this where ideally I would do the base first and then put the model on the base. So that I don't run into this kind of issue. So let's see. I think we just gotta be meticulous about it. And just take it nice and slow. Even if it's just a little bit at a time. Careful, SpongeBob. Careful, SpongeBob. Type beat. There we go. See, we can kind of cheat with this one because we don't have to cover the whole base. Just really what we can see. Get nice and textured. All right. And now the bikes. These ones we can definitely be fast and loose on. we can put more. Kind of up where the wheel is. Maybe we can make some sort of divot. Or some markings with something. Yeah, that's not really noticeable. But there it is. Probably do some cleanup to keep it from going too high. There we go. Might have said this earlier, but I'd really like to get them all based. Because that way they look like they're all together on the same planet or whatever. That, and honestly, when you're standing like 4 feet away from the models, it's really the bases that you're gonna see. Because they act like footprints. If the whole army's got the same footprint, then they look like they're all marching together. I can grab those other Terminators that I was working on, just to show what I mean. But we'll do the base on this last bike. New wet palette, new paper towel as well. I have started every stream with new water though. So that's one thing that I'd mix. Didn't make any sense. Why did I say mix? It's one thing that I make sure I do. little heavy over here, methinks. Yeah, we got some under there. Some gnarly buildup. But we can just go over it in the Tomb King tan, and then it's like dirt on the bike. Make sure that we get out all the gunk from the brush. Brush a little messed up, yeah. But that's what happens. All right. So while those dry out, just gonna put them all over here. Brother, my feet are stuck. Cannot move. Okay, new paper towel. Can feel all the dust of that astro granite. So the next thing is we're gonna do Tomb King tan on these guys. And this is what we're kind of going for. So they're all marching together. This brush, this paint. So we'll get the base coat. So we'll make a little line. We'll do a base and swing it over here. And we'll go through it all twice. I think what a lot of people do is they'll put the texture paint on the base and then they'll prime it. Cat, why didn't you remind me to get a paper towel? I said I would. All right. That'll be the first layer. Next. Well, in recent light, we won't have time to do any kind of game after the stream. So I got some things to look at, some other work that I gotta do.
Discovery Houston, press to ATO.
Work that'll pay if I can do it. So that would be ideal. All right. First layer done on that guy. So now this guy's standing on a rock. So that's less base to do. I don't mind painting the rock or the base, because I'm just going to go over that. In black again. What's really funny is that for some bases, some people will go out and get some rocks and glue them onto the base and then prime them and then paint them to look like rocks. Which is fine, I get it. Sometimes you're going for a specific art style. But I still think it's funny. Just like the idea. Conceptually, I find it humorous. All right. That's one layer done. I wonder if this will do anything if I... Pow. Alright, we're back. Time for layer 2. Do this last layer, and that'll be it. Put him over there.
Mission 41B, the first flight of the Armory Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower. Discovery's core computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
one more. Perfect. See, now these are about dry, but I'll just do those on my own time. Back on the tree. Yeah, I'm okay. Oh, look at all these pots. So many pots. Brush is done. Still got some water in them. Man, I'm gonna get these guys done. I still have enough plastic to build 5 more of these, but I'm only running 5 in the list. Pow. Look at that all together now. These ones are a little wet still. But 2 hours those will be dry. Perfect. All right. Well, thanks everyone for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. It's fun to talk to you guys while I just sit here and, well, work on my craft. I want to make some videos for the tournament. So, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that though. Maybe I'll just post pictures. YouTube does that thing now where you can like post, and it's not like a short or a video. It's just kind of like a Facebook post. All right. I'm not sure what the future of the streams is going to be like after the tournament, because, well, who knows? I might just stream again tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, thanks everyone. We'll see you next time, and be good to yourself.